Hi guys, welcome back to JAdemy. So today we are going to discuss about VPC. VPC is Virtual Private Cloud in AWS. So today what we will learn in this video. So what is VPC and how to create a VPC, and what is Internet Gateway and how to create Internet Gateway and attach it to a VPC, and what is a subnet as well, creating public and private subnets, and what is the route table, what are the components of under routing, and how to create public routing table and private routing table and associating with subnets, and as well as associating the routes with Internet Gateway and as well as our NAT gateway as well. And finally we will test by creating EC2 instances. We will test the connectivity from a public server and as well as private server. So yeah, coming to VPC. Basically, VPC is logically isolated virtual network that we are defining and where we can launch our resources. So you have complete control over the virtual networking environment, including selection of our own IP range, our own IP segment, and where we can create subnets and configure routing tables and other network gateways, which we discussed. You can also use both IPv4 and IPv6 addresses to ensure secure and easy access to resources and applications. Even you can create a public facing subnets for your web servers and access the internet. It also lets you place your backend systems such as database and other application servers the private facing subnet with no internet access. So coming to the internet gateway. Internet gateway is horizontally scaled, redundant and highly available VPC component that allows communication between your VPC and the internet. Basically, to access internet from your VPC, you must need to have internet gateway, and internet gateway serves two purposes. One is to provide a target in your VPC route tables for internet routable traffic, and to perform network address translation for instances that have been assigned to public IPv4 addresses. And an internet gateway supports, yes, both IPv4 and IPv6 traffic. It does not cause availability risks or bandwidth constraints on your network traffic. There is no additional charge. You can create internet gateway in your account and you can attach, and you can simply, ideally, you can run this. You can attach, and there is no additional charge for internet gateway. Yeah. Coming to the subnet. Subnet is a part of a network where a selection of IP addresses we are creating from our main VPC. In other words, it's a part of entire availability zone. Each subnet must reside entirely within one agent and cannot span multiple availability zones. Subnet should be used to define internet accessibility. There may not be good reason to have more than one public and one private subnets per agent. If you see in the below diagram, the outer layer represents VPC. Under this, we have two availability zones. These dotted lines represents one availability zone, and right side is another availability zone. If you see first availability zone, I have created one public and another one private subnet. In the same way, I can create two subnets. One is public phase, another one is private private instances, which does not have any internet. Coming to route table. Route table contains a set of rules which we are defining, that is called routes, that are used to determine where network traffic to be routed or directed. For routing table, best example is whenever you are driving your car on the main highways, you will see the signboards. You need to go to the city, take left or right, and you need to go some other city, and take your left or right or straight. That is the signboards. Same way, we are we are routing in the routing tables as well. So the following are the key concepts for a routing table. So main routing table. This routing table that automatically comes with your VPC. Custom route table this routing table you are creating for your VPC, like edge association, a routing table that you are using to route inbound VPC traffic to an appliance. Coming to route table association. This association between a route table and subnet, internet gateway or VPG, virtual private gateway. Coming to subnet route table, a route table that is associated with a subnet. Coming to gateway route table, this is also a route table that is associated with an internet gateway or virtual private gateway. Coming to local gateway route table, a route table that is associated with an outpost local gateway. For information, I will provide you about the local gateways. The link I will provide you in the description. You can feel free to explore on that. Coming to the destination. Destination is basically the range of IP address where we want to uh, direct the traffic to go the a particular destination CIDR. For example, I'm giving my external corporate network, that is 172.16.00/12. That is a CIDR destination range I'm giving. Propagation. Route propagation allows you a virtual private gateway to automatically propagate routes to the routing table. Coming to the target. Target is the gateway network interface or connection through which to send the destination traffic. For example, our internet gateway. Local route. A default route for communication will be created within our VPC. If you want to connect within your VPC, you don't want to create again any additional route. By defaultly, one route will be created for us. Yeah. So other concept, what is NAT gateway? Basically, it is used to enable internet. Generally, we will use NAT gateways in the uh, private environment. To update the patches, we will use NAT gateways. Generally, our applications running on private environment, if you want to update patches, then you need internet access. You want to reach the internet, but from internet you are not accessing your server. That is one thing you need to remember. This is used to enable instances in private subnet to connect to the internet or other AWS services, but prevent the internet from initiating a connection with those instances. That is the one main point. To create NAT gateway, you must specify the public subnet in which the NAT gateway needs to reside. You must also specify an elastic IP address for your NAT gateway when you create the NAT gateway. This elastic IP address cannot be changed after you associate it with your NAT gateway. After you created a NAT gateway, you must update the route table associated with one or more your private subnets, not with a public subnet. Each NAT gateway is created in a specific AZ and implemented with redundancy in that zone. You have a quota on the number of NAT gateways you can create in one availability zone. These are the main components if you want to create any EC2 instance in your default in your customized VPC. So you need one internet gateway and one subnet in public and one another one in private, and routing tables as well, and NAT gateway. So if you are new to AWS, you don't know how to create VPC also, we have a default VPC which is created automatically when you created your account. To provision any AWS resources, you can go and directly create with the default VPC which is created for you. So we can create additional VPCs from the Amazon VPC console. So if we go to AWS console, there we have start VPC wizard. There will be multiple options. With that we can choose whichever suitable for us. We can create our VPC. Yes. As we discussed, yeah, this is how the VPC design will looks like. So the outer layer represents my VPC. VPC is like we are defining our own IP address range. We have defined here, and in that one, like again, these zones and regions I have clearly explained in my previous videos. You can go and you can watch it. One region, and one more thing, VPC is region based, not zonal wise, or it can't span across multiple regions. It is a region based service. Under that VPC we have multiple availability zones. Minimum 2 or 3 availability zones will be there. In one availability zone I have created public subnet 1 and public subnet private subnet 1. The same way I have created in another availability zone public subnet 2 and public private subnet another one. So now we can see how this can be executed and how this attached to VPC, and how the routing will actually takes place, and how we can reach internet. The help of a practical session, we can directly jump into practice and we can execute it. After we log into AWS account, so we'll simply search with the VPC, and yes, it will give the VPC dashboard. So now see, launch wizard is there, or else you go to your VPCs, just create VPC, click on create VPC, give a name to it, Jai Demi VPC, and I'm giving the subnet range 10.0 to VPC CIDR range, not subnet range, 10.0/16. I can go with IPv6 also, but as of now I don't want IPv6, and I'm going with tenant is default tenant. I don't want dedicated. So create VPC. So you have successfully created your VPC with the VPC unique ID. So now my VPC ID is this one. Now what is the next step? Now I want to create internet gateway. So create internet gateway. So I'm giving JDME IGW internet gateway. Just create internet gateway. After you give the name, and if you click on internet gateways, this is my internet gateway, and it is in detached mode. Just now we have created, and even if this is showing a pop-up attached to your VPC. Okay, so go to the actions and attach to VPC. Which VPC you want to attach? This one. I want to attach my JDMI VPC. Now attach internet gateway. So attach is also done now. Now what is the next step we need to do? We need to create one public subnet and another one private subnet. So I navigated to subnets and create subnet. So I need to choose VPC where I want to create my subnet. Yeah. So I'm giving the name as dummy public subnet. So I'm choosing availability zone 1A, and I'm giving IP subnet range dot 0.0.0/24, and I will create one more subnet 1. Now I will create one more subnet in the one go, that is private subnet. I'll just modify the name to private, and private subnet 1 in 1A only. I'm creating 10.0.0 1.0/24. I'll give, and I'll create now. Create subnet. So two subnets is created with the two subnet IDs. Okay. Now I'll go and create a route tables. If you see here, this is created when I created my VPC. I'll show you that also. I have created my VPC, right? So what is my VPC ID here? So VPC ID will be unique. I'm navigating to routing table. So, I'll fetch with my VPC ID. So in this VPC, I have one routing table. This is like it is a default routing table. It is created by default whenever we create VPC. Why this will create? Always remember always, as I shown you the diagram, between subnets, between availability zones within one VPC, the communication will be established with the private IPs, not a public one. Okay, that is the reason this default route table is created. Now we will create a route table. Dummy public route, public route one I'll give, and the VPC ID we need to choose and create. The same way, I'll create one more routing table which is called private one. Private route table one. Okay, I'll choose the VPC here and go and create it. Now I have created. So you see these two routing tables is there. First we will go and we will associate the subnet in the routing table. Navigate to subnet association and edit the subnet association. Here you need to associate your public subnet. This is my public subnet. I'm just shaving this one. If you associate by defaultly, there is no internet will be available. For that reason, you need to go to the routes and you need to define. Yes, if you see there is a one route is already added. That is what I have mentioned earlier. By defaultly, one local route will be created. What does this mean by 10.0.0.0? Whatever the IP address, it is trying to access from each other within the VPC. Whatever the IP address of the server it is reaching, it is starting with 10.0. Then you allow without any additional routings. Other than that, suppose I want to reach my internet, then I don't know which IP address is allocated to google.com or amazon.com or any other.com. So I don't know, right? That is the reason I'm giving 00 and I'm giving internet gateway and I'm attaching the route. I'm attaching a target as internet gateway and the source is anywhere and save the routes. Now we have successfully created public routing and it's a routing association also we have done. So and private routing association is pending. That part we will do after we launch instances. Or we launch two instances. One is private, another one is public instance, and we will test the connectivity from those two instances from the internet. Let's navigate to EC2 console. Yes. Yeah. If you see here, I don't have any running instances. I have zero instances. That means no instances is running. So I can click here and I will launch instances in. Yes. So I'll choose my Amazon Linux, which is eligible for free tier eligible EC2 instance, and I will choose basic default T2 micro is free tier eligible one. So you use whenever you are using, don't go with other one. Use T2 micro only. Else it will be chargeable per hourly basis. Now here I want to use my VPC only. I am using yes public one, and I want to connect to that server, right? I need public IP should be enabled, and that's the reason I'm enabling. So storage by defaultly 8 GB for Amazon Linux instances. We can't reduce that to 7 or 6. We can increase, but we can't reduce. So add tags. I'm giving name for this. Public server one. Public server I will give. Okay. And configure security group. So I don't have, I think, yeah, I have one security group here. I'll use default security group only, and I will review it, and I'll launch the EC2 instance. So while launching, here it is prompting for key pair authentication. So if you have existing key pair, go with existing, or else create a new key pair from here as per your choice. Just launch the instance. So now instance is launching. It is under progress. We will see what is the progress here. See, now it is in pending state. This is the public server and instance ID. So once the status checks is passed, then only we will able to connect to this instance. Meanwhile, I will launch one more instance for my private one, private subnet. Select same AMI I have chosen, and to micro, which is eligible for free tier. And here I choose my VPC. Now I want to choose my private subnet. Why I am telling is here it is private and public, where my subnet or my instance directly reaching to the internet, that is I'm calling as public subnet. Other one is private, where this does not have any internet directly accessing from the internet. Okay, if I enable for my private instance also this IP address, public assigning public IP, it's no use, no use. With that private public IP, we can't able to connect. Just for your clarification, I am enabling, and we will test with the public IP and as well as private IP. Okay. Add storage. Remaining things are default settings, whatever we have. We will leave it that, and we will continue. Add tags. Go to tags. Give a name to it. Is private server. Yeah. Next, configure security group. I'll go with the default security group only. Select an existing default one. Yes, choose that, and review and launch. And I'm launching now. Even I'm using this also same keeper launch instance. So my second instance is also now launch, and it is in progress. It will take some time to come online. That is 2 by 2 checks pass this status checks. It will take some time. So yeah, let us wait for a moment, and we will try to connect to the server. Now, first instance is first 2 by 2 health checks. Now let us connect. There are multiple options to connect to the EC2 instance. EC2 instance connect or session manager or else SSH client. Session manager, we need to assign some role to my EC2 instance. Then it will work. So this will I will explain in future sessions. And SSH client, like you can use any if you are using any Windows machine, you can use PuTTY, and you just get the file to your local and that key file, and just trying to connect with the help of this. Okay, and yes, now we will connect with the EC2 instance connect for this. Okay, there was a problem connecting to make sure we are unable to connect to the instance. The network settings are configured for EC2 instance. Task 1, configure network access to an instance. Okay, yeah, there is some problem with my EC2 instance. uh, Yes, I'll go to EC2 instance, and I'll navigate to the security groups. Yeah, this is also one problem. If you are unable to connect to your EC2 instance, then first check your security group and click on your security group inbound rules, edit inbound rules. And if you see here, it is pointing to its internal, but we are connecting to from somewhere, right? From some other internet, some other source. That is the reason we are modifying it to anywhere. But make sure you are not using 000 in your real-time environment. Okay, now I'll go back again to my instance, public instance. I'll try to connect now, and yeah, I'm connecting. Yes, if you see here, I have connected to my server. This is my public server IP. If you see, this is my instance, right? This is my instance, and if you see, this is the public subnet where I have created. That server IP is 0034, where I have logged in now. So in the same way, I'll try to connect to the second server, which is in private, right? Private. I'll try to connect. So I'm just connecting. It will give the error because we don't have any internet access from this one. Yes, it will give the error. So for that one, what we need to do first? First we need to we need to connect to that instance with the help of this EC2 instance. Like we are already in under VPC, right? Under now we are in under VPC network. So from here we need to connect to the private server. So let us try that one. Try to access that one. So for that one, what we need? We need a key file. That is M file we need. So we will get that key file and we will connect. So if you are having your key file key file in somewhere, if you are working in some other laptop, like simple and secure step is just to upload your key file to your S3 bucket, and you just download it to your local and you upload into your server. Object URL, just click on this. It is saying it is error, permission denied. So we will troubleshoot that also. So click on the object which you want to access. So actions, if you navigate a little down, there will be make public option. So yes, it is asking, it is giving a warning. So now it is publicly accessible. So make sure this information should not be accessible by publicly. Okay, just close this one, go back and click on this. Just download this to your local. So it is downloaded now. Show in folder. So I have opened that. Let me copy that. So I have already logged into my public server where I can create uh, I'll create a PEM file here, and I'll do the insert, and I'll paste that, and I'll do the escape. This is a VI editor I've opened. I'm just giving a file here. Just I will clear that. Sorry, clear, and just list whether that is created or not. So it is created. Now to connect to this second server, we need to follow the SSH client method. Okay, so we'll try to access first. Whether it will work or not, we will see. Up, go to the instance. Yes, I already mentioned, right? If you are giving public IP also, it is a useless. Just we are giving, it won't connect to your public server because it is in private environment. For your understanding, I'll go here and I'll try to just give me a second. I'll refresh that. Yes. So now I will connect this from here to my destination server ssh-hi, and the path of my key file I need to specify here, and what is the username we are trying to connect for Amazon Linux based EC2-user at the rate my server IP address. So I'm giving public IP. So it won't connect. After some time it will give a like connection timed out. We'll wait for that and we will check with the private IP. So same, we will connect with private IP now, and we will verify whether it will connect or not. So what is my private IP for this server is 1.160, right? I'll give that one here. Is asking, do you want to connect to your destination server? Yes, I'm giving yes. So it will give error that because it is telling your key is unprotected. Yes, if you see here, this is readable by other and root. That is the reason it is telling. So we need to change the permission to our file. It is open to the world. Anyone can see my file who is logged into this server. So I need to modify the permissions and try to connect again. Yeah, if you see here, now it is connected. Now I'm in my second server, that is private server. If you see this one, earlier I was in the public server, another server. Now I have logged into another server. So if you now what is the main agenda? We need to download any package from the internet, right? So let us try that. Sudo m install. I want to download a Git package. We'll see. So there is no internet for this. That is the reason it is simply, it is not giving any response. It stopped there. So the same we will fetch in the, we will try to install any package the private server, I mean public server, where we have created in public server, public subnet. Install git. You see here, it is started. It fetched the package and it is asking to download this much MB you want to install or not. Yes, I'll give yes, install. So yes, if you see here, all the packages it is hitting and even it is installed also. If you see here, this is the package it is installed in the public server. Now I want to install same thing in a private server. How can I do that? With the help of internet gateway, I can execute that. I can get the patches. So main reason why we need the NAT gateway to get any updates, or we want to connect from the local to internet. Then that is the reason we are reaching to NAT gateway. We are creating NAT gateway and reaching the internet with the help of NAT gateway. Now I don't have any NAT gateway. It is created. Let us create one NAT gateway. Please keep in mind, NAT gateway is chargeable per hourly basis. $0.048 is chargeable. So always remember, whenever we are creating NAT gateway, it should be reside in your public subnet, not in a private subnet. And we need to allocate one elastic IP also for our NAT gateway. As I discussed, as I said earlier, we need to allocate one. Just create NAT gateway. So we have created NAT gateway. Now what we need to do next step? We need to navigate to our routing table. And in routing table, we have created one routing table for private. In that one, we need to associate the subnet which we have used to create, which we have to use to launch our EC2 instance. This is the subnet we have used. So we will save this one and we need to add the routes. Edit routing, add route, choose source as 00 and target is NAT gateway. This is my NAT gateway. Just save routes. I have saved the routes. Okay, but I'll navigate here and I can verify again, logging to the private server. I'll execute the same command. If you see, still it is not able to access the internet because my NAT gateway still it is in creating only. It is not available. It is still in pending state. It is not created completely. This is just created. It's still, see, it is still in pending mode. Once it will be completed, then only my server will able to access the internet. Okay, we wait for that. So now NAT gateway is available. So let us quickly navigate to the server. So it is tried and it is unable to install. Now we are trying again. Sudo m install git. See here. Now it is asking. Yes, it is asking now to install the package. We give confirmation as yes. Go ahead and install. See here in the server also git is installed with the help of NAT gateway. Is real time. We will use NAT gateways to get the packages or any patches we need to update in my application server. Then I will create NAT gateway and associate with that. After that, I will create this one. Right, you got it? Yeah. This is how we need to connect from public to private and private to internet. Yes. Even now I can ping my server from public to I can do the testing. Yeah, already we tested, we downloaded the package. It's not required to ping and test the connectivity. Yeah, that's it guys. So in this video we have created VPC and subnet as well as internet gateway and NAT gateway, and we have created multiple routing tables and two instances. One is in public, another one is in private, and we have tested the connection from the instance to the internet. So this is how we can restrict the access in the private environment. In coming videos we can see what is the VPC. Under VPC we have a few other resources. If you see here, few services we have like security groups, NACLs, and as well as the VPC peering connection. This one, these things